Rebbe Nachman had a follower. His name was Rebbe Dov of Cherin, and this Rebbe Dov very much wanted to begin to get up at midnight, at Chatzot, in order to mourn over the temple and being the best time of the day, of the 24 hours, to talk to Hashem and to learn Torah. So he very much wanted to get up, and he tried all types of tactics and things. He even paid somebody, hired somebody to wake him up by force and not to leave him until he got fully dressed and out of bed. And he saw that when he began to do this, he began to develop major head pains and headaches, and he didn't know what to do. So he came before Rebbe Nachman and complained, I want to get up at midnight, but it's affecting my health. So Rebbe Nachman told him, your midnight should be at 3 in the morning, as opposed to the halachic midnight, which, if it's winter or summer, can fluctuate between 11 p.m. and then the summer can go up to even 2 in the morning. Rebbe Nachman told him, your midnight is at 3. And he told him like this: eat and sleep, just watch your time. And from here, it's something very important, in that a person has to see not to overdo it. A person has to try their best to serve God at the maximum, but it shouldn't take a toll on your health. If you see that you're fighting, and you're trying your best to struggle to serve Hashem and to work on minimal eating and minimal sleep in order to maximize the time, and it's still not working out, so you might put yourself at risk. So what to do then? Ideally, a person has to watch their health. Rebbe Nachman, he stressed many times the importance of watching your health, like in this instance over here. And there's a saying in Breslov like this: it's better to be a Mentsch, a man, for 1 hour than to be a behema, an animal, for 9 hours. In other words, if now you're doing things and you're half asleep, half awake, you're doing many things, but you're not fully there, and it's taking a toll on your health, as opposed to doing something for just 1 hour but having enough sleep and doing it properly, it's better to do things properly in less time than to do a lot being like a behema, half there. So in the meantime, a person has to take his body into consideration, but not to give up, to ask Hashem to keep on davening until they do open the gates for a person to, yes, wake up at midnight, to, yes, be able to get up early enough to make a davening, to go early to shul, to learn and everything, but not to fight. If now a person sees that from heaven they're trying to show them otherwise, so a person shouldn't fight. No, I have to be a warrior and everything. Rather, they should go with the flow, see what Hashem is trying to tell the person, and at the same time not to stop davening to finally eventually come to what they need to come to. This is a major rule in life, and that when a person doesn't give up and he keeps on davening and does his best to try to serve Hashem the maximum, and even in this, obviously, there's tons of ups and downs. There's all types of ups and downs in life, to the point where a person also doesn't know anymore what Hashem wants of me. Hashem, show me, am I supposed to sleep this much, that much? So we have all types of situations. So in the meantime, one must for sure keep on davening to Hashem and doing the maximum to minimize that much of the worldly contact, worldly needs, so I can spend more time in Torah study and prayer, or in items that are needed, which are in the category of serving of Hashem. But it's something very important. They said like this in Breslov, another idea, that when a person is healthy, then you should do and do and do. But when you're not well, you must watch your health. You can't just keep on, dragging yourself until, God forbid, it's finished and just say, oh, Hashem will help. You must take consideration what the body is trying to tell a person. If there's physical pain, physical difficulties, one must relate to them. But also in everything there's a balance. You have people who are also over extreme and over delicate. That also is not a good attitude. A person has to be more or less solid, balanced. There are types of pains and everything, but not to be a chicken for every tiny thing. But at the same time, when things are serious and a person is forcing the matter to keep on going at the expense of their health, and it's serious, then there's a wake-up sign that they have to take into consideration. They say like this in Breslov, Rebbe Nachman, he said like this: If Rebbe Nachman warned against going to doctors because of the damage, we spoke about this, the damage that doctors can do, so because of that, it's very important that a person should eat healthy in order not to have to come to eventually go to doctors. So again, we see that Rebbe Nachman promotes watching your health, and it's not just serving Hashem until a person kills themselves, God forbid, but doing everything in balance and waiting and yearning until Hashem opens the gates for a person. Not to give up, not to say, oh, getting up at midnight is not for me, I can't go with that little sleep. Not to say that. To say, I need to get up at midnight, but as I am presently, because of my upbringing and where I came from, and how much I have to cleanse myself still until I have the merit to get up at midnight, I'm not there yet, but I want to be there, and it is for me, and I'm not going to excuse myself, it's not for me. These devotions are not for me. Rather, to keep on asking Hashem, let me have the merit to, for example, get up at midnight with such little sleep, and I can have a balanced schedule. But in the meantime, a person must for sure take into consideration their bodily health and eating and sleeping, and also not to overdo it, also not to take advantage, but to do minimal. The Ben Ish Chai, for example, he brings down that a normal person needs between 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Over 8 hours of sleep is detrimental, and under 6 is not enough. 6 hours is considered average. However, he teaches the Ben Ish Chai, if a person sleeps less than 6 hours because he was involved in doing mitzvot, then he will feel, it's something amazing, he will feel as if he did sleep 6 hours. In other words, even though he got less than 6 hours sleep, if now he was involved in, for example, waking up early in order to daven and to learn, so he will feel as if he slept 6 hours. People have tried this, they don't see that necessarily, but it's again a purification process to wait until eventually a person has the merit to be a soldier of Hashem. Being a Jew basically means to be a soldier, but you can't be a sick soldier. You have to be healthy in order to be a soldier. You can't be dragging and schlepping. Rather, a person has to really seriously watch what they eat, their sleeping, that the time is coordinated properly, in order that they should be a Mentsch, a person, and not a behema.